welcome back to another video. My name is Brooklyn and today's video is going to be my vlog for NetGalley November. I'm so excited to be doing this. I have already read lots of books because it's like the 7th of November, I think. But I forgot that I wanted to do this vlog, so I'm here now. So let's go over, I've already done my TBR, so I'm not going to go over all the books I'm planning to read. I'm just going to show you what I'm reading, share my thoughts, and yeah, we're going to continue on as normal after I update you where I am at. So if you would have seen my TBR, you would know that I am reading some NetGalley books, some physical arcs, and then I've got a few other books that I'm reading. So in this vlog, I'm just going to be sharing all the arcs and NetGalley books that I am reading. So the first one that I read and finished was The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. This one has been a physical arc on my shelf for a really long time, and I finally finished it. I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it. It's like lovely as usual as for Tessa Bailey. The smart is always so good in these books and I just have the best time. I didn't love it as much as Fangirl Down, and there was just a few issues with felt really unreasonable and a little bit hard to comprehend. It's just not believable. Yeah, I just had a few little issues. I have a review up on Goodreads and on my Instagram if you want to go into the details of it, but yeah, it just wasn't my favourite Tessa Bailey, and I feel like the pacing was off. It took me a really long time to really get into it. It didn't ever have me hooked on it. And yeah, I just didn't love the fact that they had miscommunication with his daughter, and she was a little bit older as well. So I've never really read a single dad romance where the child is old enough to understand what's going on, really understand. I feel like I'm only reading single dads when they're 8 years or younger, so they are never really around too much, or they're with the mum or something. But this one was really around, and obviously she was the nanny, the au pair. So yeah, that was a bit hard for me to comprehend why they would hide such vital information from her. But anyway, and yeah, I just felt he was grumpy, and he had this persona to uphold in his hockey career and everything. And behind closed doors, he was very sensitive and nice and stuff, which I really enjoyed. And I felt that was really believable because he has a daughter and he does have that sensitive side. But yeah, anyway, I have a lot of thoughts on it, and it's fine because I still really enjoyed it. So that was the first book that I read. I picked up an audiobook from NetGalley called Santa Overboard, and for this one I used it as a book with a name in the title because Santa is a name, guys. And I enjoyed this one. I ended up giving it 3 stars, I think. Who knows? I don't know. This was last week, basically. But I did enjoy it. I had a fun time. It was cute. They were a little bit older people in the book that I was following, so I don't often read romance books. It was just a short novella, so there wasn't much to it. I liked how they were more mature, but you still saw the sensitive and where you're putting yourself out there in every relationship, no matter what age you are. So I really enjoyed that. And I just really liked the setting and everything. So yeah, I had a good time with that. It was really short, really sweet. I feel if it was longer, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more, getting to know the characters, but I'm just not used to those really short novellas. So yeah, that was another NetGalley book that I read. I'm reading The Trouble with Drowning. This one is very interesting. I'm listening to this one as well. It's a NetGalley arc, and I'm pretty sure it comes out towards the end of November, this one. And this one is very interesting. It's general fiction, which I don't normally pick up, but I am quite enjoying it. It's just a bit hard to read now that I'm at a certain point in it. But basically we're following a couple that gets together. One has a very hard upbringing, been in the foster system, has a lot of trauma, has a lot of things going on with herself. And she's a bit of an unreliable narrator as I've gotten further and further in this, and she ends up getting together with her roommate's brother, and he is just a very lovely guy. He's been he's a bit of a player, like in the past. He's kind of one of those people that has never been told no, but yeah, like he's lovely and he's finally like found someone that he really gets along with and wants to spend more time with. So they get into this relationship and things kind of get a bit heated at times. And she kind of shows her true colours. They start to come out. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. It's a little bit hard to listen to because just like uncomfortableness, like you don't know what she's gonna do and you're like a bit scared for him. Like it's not like thrillery or anything, but it's more so like you don't know how far she's gonna go. Like potentially I feel like she could kill someone if she wanted to, but I don't know if it's like that yet. But yeah, at the moment I'm really enjoying it and I'm going to continue listening to that. I'm about like 30% of the way in, so like even though I feel like a lot of stuff has happened, like he was her first of everything, so she's really attached to him, and now that he's starting to see things, he's like trying to unattach and she's not having it. So we're in it. But yeah, that's all at the moment I wanted to share with you. I do have some other books that I'm going to be reading, but at the moment I'm just going to stick with that one because I am reading a lot of books at the one time. I do have a few filming another vlog for, so you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, I'm going to hop into sprints now and I'm excited. It's going to be a good month. I'm going to get some stuff done. It'll be so nice to get some arcs completed and to get those reviews done. Yeah, it'll just be such a good feeling and I'm excited for it, and getting that NetGalley percentage up because it's not looking too good now. It really isn't. But yeah, let's go do some reading. Hello, I am about to continue reading The Trouble with Drowning in the Deep. The Trouble with Drowning? I don't know. But I am really enjoying it, but I am terrified of Kat and what is she gonna do. We've been introduced to a new character, Eden, who has moved from Seattle wanting a new life, and she like had a dream about this house and Jacob, who Kat was with and now isn't. She buys the house off Jacob and they form a very strong connection and she's the one for him. So I've got to come to terms with Kat finding out about that and all of the rest of it. So I'm really scared about what she's gonna do and how she's gonna react to all of this. And just like having such an unreliable person. She's been diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, so she has been on medication and getting therapy and was doing really well, but now it seems because of this news she's going off her medication, declining therapy and having bursts of anger and lots of different emotions coming out. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes down, how this gets dealt with. I'm not so sure what's going to happen in this book. It's really like, I don't know what to think. I don't know how to feel. I don't know if it's a romance, a drama, or a thriller. Like I'm really like concerned for my well-being, but I'm really enjoying it at the same time. So I'm gonna listen to that now, hopefully finish it tonight, and then I can write my review up. So let's go. Hello, I wanted to give you an update because it's been a little while and I've forgotten to update this vlog, but I have read a few things in the journey of my NetGalley November. TBR. So I have finished the book that I have been talking about. Giving this 4 stars. I really did enjoy it. It was just really difficult to like the characters. But like, I guess that is a thing with like thriller-esque books. Like you don't know whether to trust them. You don't know whether to believe everything they're saying and like them as a person, and like their actions and things are somewhat questionable. And also because she was dealing with a lot of mental health issues, she wasn't fully herself at times. So it was really interesting to go through that journey with her, but also on the other side of things because it was told in like third person. So yeah, I did really enjoy that. It was really long though. Like it just had a really roundabout way of coming about the story. Like I don't know why, it just like felt like there were two separate stories in this combined. I don't know if that's just me, but anyway, I really do recommend that book. It's already out, but the audiobook came out on the 12th or 14th of November, I want to say, or maybe the 22nd. I think it comes out on the 22nd of November. So yeah, that one is really great. The audiobook was amazing. I couldn't fault that at all. So that's great. I really recommend that one. But then I read the two books in the collective novella collection. Is it like Under the Mistletoe or something similar to that? I read Merry Ever After, which was by Tessa Bailey, and I hated this. I do go on a rant on my Goodreads review, but Tessa Bailey, I usually love you. Like, I really love what you do. Like, as you can see, I love Tessa Bailey's books. But this one did not sit right with me. They were just so sexual, and they had just met. Like, if people think these things in real life, like, straight away when meeting someone, I'm scared for humanity. Like, it's kind of the sexualization of women. Like, that's a problem. And this, I get it was a novella and it was really short. She only had a really short time to do things, but the story really didn't sit well with me, and I didn't like how quickly it moved. Whereas I read another one. So the other one was Only Santa's in the Building, and this one was so cute. It's by Alexis somebody, sorry, I don't remember the name. This one was cute. It was done really well, and there were really good like time jumps to make the story move along nicely and believably, because like the other one just wasn't work. It would work, I think, if it was a longer book, if there was some backstory and some progression to that and some lead up, but it really creeped me out just in so many ways. And I put some quotes in my review that will sit with you for quite some time. So yeah, that's a lot. But where is that book? Where is the book I'm reading now? At the moment, I am reading Lady of Darkness. I am listening to the audiobook because this one's already out. This is an arc that I have come across in my time, and this book has been out for quite some time, but it hasn't been officially published. So this HarperCollins picked this one up, and yeah, it's here, and I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. It's romantasy, it's fae, and it's kind of giving that Throne of Glass vibe. I mean, it's giving what romantasy gives, you know, but I'm just enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the audiobook, even though it's super long. Like, this is a chunky book, but the audio, I don't tend to listen to fantasy and romantasy on audiobooks because I do love reading them, especially on my Kindle, which this one was on my Kindle for such a long time. And then when I saw it was being professionally published, I had to get it. So yeah, I really am enjoying this. I'm enjoying learning about the characters, and Soren is my next true love, I believe. But yeah, that's currently where I'm at with my NetGalley November. I cannot remember for the life of me where those books sit on my bingo. No, I didn't do a bingo board. On my Snakes and Ladders board. But I am checking them off as I go. I just cannot remember what the prompts were that I have done so far. I will update you in hopefully the next clip if I remember where I'm up to with that. But yeah, at the moment, this is currently what I'm doing. I've had like a little break from reading as I've started a new job and lots of stuff's going on. But I am going to go back onto sprints for NetGalley November, and I will update you once I have either read a little bit more of this, have some more thoughts, or finished. We shall see. But I will catch up with you then. Hello. So I have some reading updates for you. I finished Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Roerich, and I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars it wasn't my favorite romantasy, and I think I just need to read these physically, and that was the plan with this one, but I just didn't have enough time, and I really wanted to get this read and reviewed as soon as possible in this month. So I tried the audiobook, and the audiobook was great. Like, it was such a fun time. I just find fantasy really hard to follow in audio, so I think that, yeah, it's just one of those things where I need to be concentrating fully 100% of the time, and that's not always possible because usually when I'm listening to audio I am doing something else. So I think at times I got quite confused and had to go like back a few times, which took me out of the story, and there wasn't anything too there wasn't anything too creative or new to me about this romantasy. Like, it very much followed the standard like recipe for these types of books, but I did enjoy Scarlett's character, which was our main female character. She was very strong-willed. She was an assassin, and I love reading about strong, kick-ass female main characters. And then we have another man, which I don't know if it says his name on the back because it's changed. Anyway, it doesn't, so I won't say his name, but there is another man, and yeah, he's interesting. He was giving the vibes that I wanted, but then again, it just like followed that standard book, like romantasy book, and this book was like massive, and there's like so many more in this series, so I can see how you could get really into this, but it just wasn't for me. I think maybe I've read too many similar books to this. Like, I don't know, I just prefer other ones that I've read, such as Throne of Glass. Like, it just wasn't giving me what I wanted, and she was wearing a lot of different hats, I guess, and like being different to a lot of different people, and it was just like sometimes a bit too confusing for no reason, and there was just a lot of relationships happening, good and bad, like not romantically really, but like, yeah, but like it wasn't too spicy either, so that's always like something that I kind of look forward to. But it was like spicy, but not in the way that I thought, like with the wrong people. So there was that as well. So yeah, 3.5 stars. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't bad at all. The writing was pretty good. But yeah, I recommend that if you're getting into romantasy, this would be like a pretty good one to start with if you read it physically. I feel like just fantasy on audio for me, I don't like it immersion reading or just physically reading. So there's that. I also read because that was actually not a NetGalley book, but it is an ARC, because this book has been published for a while on Kindle Unlimited and Kindle, but they've physically published the book now. So I would like to write my review for this. I haven't yet, but I will as soon as possible, for HarperCollins, and send that off to them. But then I did read another NetGalley book that I requested and got approved for. So it's called This Girl's a Killer, and you can take that name very literally. I didn't read anything about it. I just like wanted thriller vibes for something different, so that's what I went with based on the cover and the title. So that was a good choice for the thriller-esque vibes, but very much so you can take that literally. It was giving a mix between the Bandit Queens, which Nicole loves, and also the Mind F series, which I have read both of those, and I enjoyed both of them. They weren't like favorite books, but I think I gave like the Mind F series like a solid 4 stars over the cross of all of them, and Bandit Queens I think I gave 4 stars too. So they're both books that I have enjoyed in the past, so you'd think that I really would enjoy this one, but it deals with like the moral consequences of murdering people, even if they are like terrible people and they may deserve to die in the eyes of the person that's killing them and other people. But this one, the the main character, Cornelia, I'm pretty sure, she was just horrible. Like, the way she was thinking, like, she was obsessed with her best friend, and that's basically how murdering all these people came about. She was trying to protect her, like, men that either that chick's been with and haven't been good people, or like just like predators and like non-convicted rapists and just like horrible men, which is like fair enough that you hate these people, think they deserve to die, but acting on that is another thing, and that's what this book really tried to deal with, I think. But in books such as The Bandit Queens and the Mind F series, and books where murder comes about, I think it's done in a different way that makes you sympathize with the killer, because like they're doing it in like maybe a more ethical way, which is a bit funny to say, or just like I don't know, they're not like thinking about killing everyone and anyone, whereas this main character, she was just having like these horrible, I reckon, like psychopathic tendencies constantly, and I just didn't enjoy her. I didn't like how she thought about her best friend and her best friend's daughter, and how like obsessive and controlling she was of them, and how she like manipulated and gaslit everyone. It was just like felt really off and made me feel like a bit sick, and even though I understand what the author was trying to do, and like there's lots of books like this that I think do a good job, but this one just didn't do it for me, so I ended up giving it 2.5 stars. But yeah, still, and I think it was just like a bit long. Like I felt like we went round and round in circles, and then nothing even like happened in the end. Like we didn't really get anywhere. There was no character development. Literally nothing happened. So that's that. So now I get to read another arc that I have on my shelf. I actually recently got this one, but I do feel like this might be published as well. I don't know, I keep getting books sent to me that have been published like a month ago, and I'm like, please send these to me earlier and I might be able to read them. This one at least says 2024, so that's good, but I shall find out when. But this one is Next of Kin by Hannah Boehm Young. This one is very cutesy already. I am currently on page 56, so chapter 8, and I am absolutely loving this. I think it's going to be like close to a 5-star for me. I have been reading books in between these, but I won't share them on here because it was just like dark romance stuff that I was just reading for the fun of it and not reviewing. But this one I would like to review, and as it is an arc for me that has been sent to me, I am going to include it in my NetGalley video. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a fun time. So far we are following Chloe, who has been kind of in and out of the foster care system most of like a bit of her life. She did get adopted, and she has a very complicated relationship with her birth mother. Finds out randomly that her birth mother has given birth to another child, so like 23 years, I think she's like 24, so like 24 years after her, and she like has some contact with her mum, but not like that much because her mum has addiction issues, and yeah, could just never stay clean for her and never put her as a priority. And so she gets contacted because the mum said that she wants her to adopt this child, be like the main carer of this. So she wants to do that. She doesn't want her mum to have any care or responsibility because she doesn't want her sister going through what she's been through. So she decides to do this, to like apply for it, and she's just finished uni, so she's like newly graduated, just starting her career, so she's not the best financially. So there's like this system where they it's called Team Up, got like housing, right, which is what Chloe has, teams up with someone who's financially okay and trying to adopt someone else. So they both got one part of each, and then they like live together for a bit until both of them get what they want. So then they can foster or adopt who they want to. So she gets paired up with this man named Warren. He's a year younger than her, so quite young still. And he is trying to adopt his younger 15-year-old brother who is deaf, and he has like a great job. He's a mechanic, but he doesn't have housing, and he can't find any housing that is near a school that is more accepting of others' needs, and his job and everything. So his problem is housing and her problem is financial. So then they team up and they move in together at her house, because she has her old uni house that has 3 bedrooms. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. It's like forced proximity, and they have already had like their first funny encounter, like not so meet cute, which is quite funny. Like he's already pissed her off, and I just love that. And he's kind of like grumpy and very nonchalant. So I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm gonna read a lot tonight, Sunday night, but I don't have work tomorrow, and I'm just like feeling the vibes of reading a physical book, because I've been on my Kindle for like 2 weeks straight. So it's time to go back to the good old book. So that's what we're gonna do. This video is probably heaps long, but it's fine. Yeah. I'm gonna go read that, and I shall update you once I read a little bit more. I'm also planning on reading the next book in this series. I also got that one. So yeah, if I love this one, I'll probably just pick that up next and we'll continue. But we only have 1 week left of November. So it's the last week of NetGalley November, and I really want to get all the books that were on my TBR, at least the arcs, done and reviewed and everything, just so I can be accomplished in that, and then I can go into December with a very fresh TBR, well, more so like a finishing TBR. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that. I'm excited. Hello, so I finished Next of Kin, and I read this in like 1 day. I am obsessed with it. You would have seen me at the beach, which I got like ridiculously sunburnt, but that's besides the point. I loved this book. I gave it 4 stars. It didn't like give me that like obsessive feeling, so that's why it's not 5, but everything about this book was just done really well. It had great disability rap in it. Both Warren, the main male character, his brother was deaf, and then Chloe, the main female character, her adoptive dad was deaf. And just like language representation in this book was done really well, and it was like consistent throughout, and I just thought that was a great thing to include and not something that you often see in books. I'm seeing it more and more lately, which is lovely, but yeah, I'm really happy with how that was done. And also just the representation for different types of people going through the system, going through the foster care system, and like just how it looks for different types of people. It's not the same experience for and that really reflected this, and how it just needs so much work to be done to it, and yeah, it's like far from perfect. So I really enjoyed that representation. The romance between these two was so cute. I loved the lead up, and just like the little back and forth, the funniness between them. The only thing I didn't like was him calling her Dove. That gave me the ick. There was like a nice little story to it, but like I was just a bit, no, I haven't heard that one before, so props for that, like creativeness, but like I don't like Dove. Like, it needs to be sexier than that for me. And like, this book wasn't like the spiciest book I've ever read by any means. Like, it was barely spicy, but the bits that we did get a little bit more romance out of it, it was good. But I'm back on sprints now for NetGalley November, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I will update you with what else I have been reading. Okay, so I also read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe today, and that was a NetGalley book that's been on like my backlist for a little while, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, maybe like 3.75 more so. It was really cute. I loved just like the cozy vibes of it. It was very much a perfect October read, so I'm sad that I didn't read that when I did request it ages ago, but nevertheless I'm reading it now, or read it now, and I did enjoy it. There was some cute references, even had a Harry Styles reference. The romance was cute. There was even a bit of smut in it, which I did not expect, and yeah, I was very surprised, but pleasantly surprised, so that was good. But yeah, other than that, the story was cute. It kind of follows like that typical cozy romance, cozy cafe type book, you know, formula that they do, and I had a good time with it. It didn't disappoint, and there's like a little bit of mystery to it at the beginning, a little bit of like found family drama. It just like provided on all of those levels that you wanted to provide, and yeah, it was just great. I had a great time. But yeah, that was one of the last NetGalley books I wanted to read. I do have Why Am I Like This, but I'm not going to get to that this month. That one's by Gemma Stiles, so unfortunately I'm going to have to leave that for another time, but hopefully maybe next month. And then I also haven't gotten to Home Office Romance, but I'm going to read that very quickly this evening. But I probably just won't update you because I'm going to end the vlog here. And but yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the books that were on my NetGalley at the start of this month. I have a few there that I'm trying to find on audio elsewhere in like ebooks and stuff, because they've been published since, and it's just been so long since I requested them that I can't like download them on NetGalley anymore, which is so fair because I've taken the time with some of them. But this was so successful, and I've had such an amazing time just spending like the month on sprints with these lovely people has been just amazing. And yeah, I've just had a great time. I can't wait to do it again next year. I've read so many books. You will see in my wrap-up video for November. Yeah, I will post that very soon, so don't worry. But yeah, I've had such a good time with this, and I'm so grateful to have been a part of this. So thank you so much for Nicole. Thank you for all that you have done. Koda done such an amazing job on all the thumbnails and spreadsheets, and also Vanessa. Like, everyone has had such a big role in this. I'm not going to name you all because you're all down below. Everyone knows who they are, but like, everyone has just worked so incredibly hard and put like so much effort into this for just a community thing to do, like, which is just lovely. And yeah, I can't wait to be a part of it again next year. And yeah, it's just such a great way to get some NetGalley books read, to get back into the swing of reviewing again, which is why I'm here in the first place, technically. So it is nice to get back to my original roots, get back to the main reason why I'm here, and yeah, to read some really good books. Like, I've read some really good books this month. I haven't filmed them all in this video, but I think I ended up reading like 13 books so far, and about half of them were NetGalley books. The other bit of that, I would say, were physical ARCs on my shelf. So that was amazing as well. That was like a really big thing for me to finally get to. And now I've got like a limited amount. Like, I've got like 2 or 3 left that I need to read and review, and I'm so much more motivated now. So that's great. And then the other ones were just like mood reads. Like, I read God of War and God of fury and stuff, like just dark romance books that I did in between, which I'm surprised I even fit in. But you know, I was very motivated. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall talk to you in my November wrap up, and then I shall see you for Bookmas. So get prepared to see my very sunburnt face at the moment a lot. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you soon. Bye.